What's up, superstars? On this video, we're going to be doing some myth busting. I get asked all the time if DTF transfers can be applied with an iron. They've seen it all over social media. They've seen our competitors' video claiming an iron can be used to apply their transfers. Well, does it really work? The short answer is yes, it can, but you won't get the professional results you would actually achieve when you're using a real heat press. Your transfers won't last as long and it may not adhere to the garment just as well. I would personally not recommend selling t-shirts using transfers applied with an iron, but for personal use, it works fine. You will still get vibrant colors and you also get no initial cracking and that light stretch that DTF is known for, but it is not gonna last years. It will most likely also prematurely shrink in the wash. That's just something that you're gonna have to deal with. So in this video, I'm going to show you what happens when you apply DTF transfers with a home iron, and I'll also show you how easy it is to apply with a real heat press. And I'll go ahead and show you guys the test results afterwards so that you guys can know what a real heat press does. So you definitely don't want to miss this video and you want to watch till the end. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. We ordered this from Amazon. It is brand new from Black & Decker, one of the highest rated home irons that's available. And we're going to use this to debunk whether or not you can use this for DTF transfers. So this actually has different settings. I have this currently at 4. I originally had it at 6, but it was too hot. So we lowered it down to 4. So let's go ahead and double check what the temperature shows. So I have our infrared gun and I'm going to go ahead and test the midsection. So this is the hottest point, which is 336. The top of this is going to be about 300, 299. Bottom here is going to be 297. Side of here is going to be 318. This side is going to be about 290. So this is as close as the 300 that we normally like to press with. So that's what we're going to be rolling with on this test. I've got our pad here to protect our table. And I'm going to be using 100% cotton tees. So let's go ahead and lay this shirt down on the padding. And let's go ahead and take a look at this artwork that we're going to be pressing on. Very cool design. We've got our iron here. And let's go ahead and show exactly what we're going to do. So I have the transfer now laid onto the shirt. The shirt is covered underneath with the padding, so now everything is nice and flat. I'm going to go ahead and use our Teflon sheet to put this right on top. And then I'm going to go ahead and position myself so that I can use a lot of pressure and start to iron this. So we normally press our transfers at only 7 seconds, but I'm going to give this a little bit more time because it is a home iron. I'm going to go through every section and then we're going to go ahead and show you guys the results of that. So let's start off with the top. I can kind of see where the pattern's at. Let's go ahead and press. I'm going to use a lot of pressure. Okay, next section. Okay, I'm just going to hit the edges one more time just to make sure, give it a fair assessment. All right, so guys, it already took a lot longer than I like to do it. So time is already money. I definitely encourage you to get a heat press. This is not the way to go about it. But anyways, we're going to get to the test and the test results. so it's nice and hot. We're just gonna go ahead and let this cool down before we peel. Now that we've given it some time to cool down, I'm gonna go ahead and use my hand to hold this down, crack an edge, peel through. So as far as transferability, everything transferred, it looks good. So let's go ahead and flip this around. We're gonna go ahead and give this a simulated second press. So I don't need the Teflon sheet, I'm just gonna go ahead and press right on top of it. Gonna try to use as much force as possible. All right, that is tiring. All right, so let's take a look at the results, guys. Okay, so the good thing is everything is nice and flat and down. I do see some lines that run vertically down the shirt. That's a good sign that there was good pressure, but we don't really know until we do a wash test. That's how we find the final results and to see if this was adequate or not. But so far, it works, it transfers, that's fine. So let's go ahead and get our next transfer. We're gonna switch color shirts to a gray t-shirt, also 100% cotton, and we're gonna fire up our VEVOR heat press, semi-automatic heat press, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this result, the heat press results done, and then we're gonna go ahead and wash test both of these guys, and then we're gonna share that with you. So I've got our 100% cotton t-shirt to be using this on the next test. What we're going to be using is also a budget-friendly heat press. I didn't want to just use a commercial heat press to test with an iron. So this is our VEVOR semi-automatic heat press. We just did an unboxing and testing of this heat press. So if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure you guys watch that video next. But let's go ahead and take a look. I already have this fired up, 300 degrees. We have it also set at 7 seconds. I'm just going to move the pad out so that I can easily fit the shirt on. So I'm going to make sure that the t-shirt neckline is going to be passing the padding. All right, let's go ahead and put this in place. Let's go ahead and adjust. So this is actually a pretty big shirt and it's pretty off. This side has a lot more fabric than this side. So I'm actually going to be adjusting this a little bit over. This is a demo shirt, but either way, I'm just going to try to do my best to align it. A little bit too much. All right, let's go side to side, my fingers. It's pretty even to me. So now that I have everything cleared, I'm gonna make sure that it's tucked underneath. I have all the pressure adjusted already, but I'm just gonna do a quick pre-press. This is a semi-automatic function. I'm just gonna keep my hand here just to protect it, but it pops out. There you go. So now that the t-shirt is ready to press, it's been pre-pressed. This is gonna be our transfer. Very suitable to the test that we're doing. Same exact one that we did with the iron. Let's go ahead and lay this down. Just gonna use my fingers here just to give me an idea, about 3 inches from that line. And then I'm going to adjust. Okay, so it's pretty straight, pretty even now. We're gonna get our Teflon sheet or our sheet, and we're gonna put this on top. Let's go ahead and press. All right. Let's go ahead and let this cool down for just a bit. So let's go for the peel. One hand down. Gonna flip the same transfer sheet over, lay this one on top, reposition it to make sure it's under the press and everything's within the heat press padding. Second press. All right, let's go ahead and pull this off. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and lay this down right here. All right, so what we're looking for again is to make sure that all the sides and everything has been adhered on. I'm also looking for the lines, and they're very, very visible here. And these lines run vertically down the t-shirt because it creates the ability for the t-shirt to stretch. So when the transfer has enough pressure, those lines are going to be visible. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of these shirts and I'm going to go ahead and wash test them. So gray is going to be the heat press, green is going to be from the iron. I'm actually surprised to see some of the lines here, but we'll see again how it holds up in the wash. So we are back, guys. We are back with the wash test results using the iron and also the VEVOR 15x15. And I'm sorry to say I'm still going to have to myth bust on using the iron for heat pressing. It just doesn't deliver enough pressure to get it done. There may be some fixes that you can do to make it work, but from our tests and our time and pressure, it just didn't have enough pressure for me to confidently tell you to go ahead and use your iron and sell it to your customers. It just didn't have quite enough pressure. But let's go ahead and take a look at the results. I'll show you first with this green t-shirt. This is what we went ahead and used the iron on. So first and foremost, I wanted to say that this actually performed a lot better than I expected. I was comparing this with the Cricut Easy Press machine, and what I'm thinking, that one obviously didn't have enough pressure. Even though we put all our force into it, there was areas that had premature wrinkling and some bubbling, so it wasn't quite as good. And I'm thinking that the iron did a lot better because it's such a small surface. And with me putting over 180 pounds of pressure on top of this, all my body weight, I think that definitely added some extra pressure, and the results were actually a little bit better than I expected. So now let's go ahead and take a closer look at actually the test results. So again, guys, everything actually is still held down. It's still in good condition, but the areas that I've seen that had premature wrinkling were certain areas and certain spots. So you have premature wrinkling here, some here, here. If you look closely here as well, basically there are areas and patches on the transfer that had some premature wrinkling. Even though it did do well on certain areas, I did see some lines that are still flowing vertically down. It just wasn't quite as good. It just didn't have enough pressure. But I'm thinking if you give it another shot with maybe more time, more pressure, slowly you might be able to get some done, and it might work for what you're trying to do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you what the VEVOR 15x15 did, because this is the semi-automatic heat press that we tested it on. We just want to show you side-by-side comparison, and here you can see the lines that are definitely running down the shirt. It shows that everything is nicely embedded into the t-shirt. So with guys using an adequate heat press, you're gonna get good pressure and you're gonna get a shirt that will last a long time. So in conclusion, guys, if you guys are thinking about using an iron for your DTF transfers, you may want to think twice. Unless you're trying to use this shirt for just once or twice for like a promotional event, for example, like birthday parties, bachelorette parties, a convention, grand opening, things of that nature where you're only going to be using the shirt once or twice, you're not going to care about the washability of the shirt, then the iron will work. But if you want something to last a very long time, make sure you guys use a heat press, because that is our recommended way of setting the transfers. My name is Phil. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you guys support the channel by liking and subscribing. And if you guys want to watch another video on the importance of pressure, make sure you guys watch that video as well. I'll catch you guys on that next one, guys.